The Volkswagen diesel emissions scandal sent shockwaves through the automotive industry and beyond, revealing a calculated scheme to manipulate emissions tests. Volkswagen, a renowned car manufacturer, was caught using software designed to cheat emission standards on their diesel vehicles. Here's everything you need to know about the scandal. Volkswagen surreptitiously installed emissions software in over 500,000 diesel cars in the US and approximately 10.5 million globally. This software enables the vehicles to recognize specific parameters during emissions testing, as stipulated by the Environmental Protection Agency. Referred to as defeat devices, these mechanisms identify inputs such as steering and throttle used during the test, prompting a switch between two operational modes. During the test mode, the cars comply with all federal emission standards. However, in regular driving conditions, the computer transitions to a separate mode, making significant alterations to fuel pressure, injection timing, exhaust gas recirculation, and, in models equipped with AdBlue, the quantity of urea fluid sprayed into the exhaust. Although this mod may enhance mileage and power, it also allows for increased nitrogen oxide emissions, a pollutant associated with smog and linked to lung cancer, reaching levels of up to 40 times higher than the federal limit. It's important to note that not every TDI vehicle is necessarily emitting 40 times the permissible nitrogen oxides. The extent of emissions varies based on factors such as driving style and load, with some cars emitting only a few times over the prescribed limit. Once on the road, the cars emitted pollutants at levels far exceeding the legal limits. The scandal affected millions of vehicles globally, tarnishing Volkswagen's reputation and leading to a significant financial impact, including substantial fines and compensation payouts. And if we might be wondering how Volkswagen found out, the revelation of Volkswagen's emission manipulation unfolded through the proactive efforts of the International Council on Clean Transportation, a non-governmental organization. The ICCT conducted comprehensive and notable on-road emissions tests on specific vehicles, including the Volkswagen Passat, Volkswagen Jetta, and BMW X5. These tests, mirroring the Environmental Protection Agency simulations, covered 5 diverse routes encompassing highway, urban, suburban, and rural up and downhill driving conditions, aiming to assess the genuine emissions performance of these vehicles in real-world scenarios. To their surprise, the emissions performance of the Volkswagen cars, particularly the Volkswagen Passat and Volkswagen Jetta, deviated significantly from the anticipated results during the on-road tests conducted by the ICCT. Notably, the BMW X5 exhibited emissions within the expected parameters. Puzzled by the substantial variations in outcomes, the ICCT decided to conduct additional tests using a dynamometer, a specialized device for measuring vehicle emissions under controlled conditions. Remarkably, when subjected to dynamometer testing, the Volkswagen cars demonstrated compliance with acceptable emission limits, passing the test with excellence. Recognizing the anomaly and recognizing the incongruity between on-road and dynamometer results, the ICCT took decisive action and promptly reached out to the Environmental Protection Agency to report their findings. The collaboration between the ICCT and the EPA played a pivotal role in uncovering Volkswagen's deliberate emission manipulations. The information provided by the ICCT prompted the EPA to launch an in-depth investigation into Volkswagen's practices, ultimately exposing the extensive emissions scandal. This joint effort underscored the significance of independent scrutiny, on-road testing, and the crucial role of vigilant organizations in ensuring adherence to environmental regulations within the automotive industry. In the aftermath of the emissions scandal, the Environmental Protection Agency identified several Volkswagen, Audi, and Porsche diesel models that breached emissions regulations. While there is currently no recall, these vehicles pass state inspections, at least for the time being. It's crucial to note that although Volkswagen has acknowledged its violation of federal emissions laws, this issue is not categorized as a state or safety concern. However, if Volkswagen initiates a recall, certain states, especially those like California and those adhering to partial zero emissions vehicle standards, might impose restrictions on registration renewal until the required fixes are implemented. The fallout from the Volkswagen diesel emissions scandal transcended the immediate impact on Volkswagen, triggering a ripple effect that reached deep into the automobile industry and beyond. The revelation of systematic emission manipulation raised critical questions about the entire automotive sector's commitment to emission standards and the efficacy of regulatory oversight. Governments worldwide responded swiftly to the scandal, recognizing the need for comprehensive investigations and reforms. The scale of the deception prompted authorities to reassess their regulatory frameworks and testing procedures. Stricter protocols were implemented to prevent future manipulations and ensure that vehicles complied with emission standards under real-world driving conditions. As investigations unfolded, Volkswagen found itself entangled in a complex legal web. The company faced substantial legal repercussions, including hefty fines and settlements that amounted to billions of dollars. These financial penalties were intended not only to hold Volkswagen accountable for its actions, but also to send a clear message to the industry about the consequences of deceptive practices. The leadership at Volkswagen underwent significant changes as a result of the scandal. Top executives resigned or were replaced in the wake of the controversy, signaling a demand for accountability at the highest levels of corporate governance. The scandal also prompted a broader societal discussion on corporate ethics and environmental responsibility. The role of regulatory bodies in safeguarding public interests came under intense scrutiny. The Volkswagen scandal exposed potential gaps in oversight mechanisms, prompting calls for stronger regulations and more proactive monitoring of the industry. Governments, regulatory agencies, and environmental groups engaged in a collaborative effort to ensure that similar manipulations would be detected early and prevented in the future. The aftermath of the Volkswagen diesel emissions scandal catalyzed change within the automotive industry. It led to increased transparency, heightened scrutiny of manufacturers' practices, and a renewed commitment to environmental sustainability. The discussions sparked by this scandal reverberated globally, influencing not only the way cars are manufactured and tested, but also shaping public expectations regarding corporate accountability and environmental stewardship. In the wake of these transformative events, the broader lessons learned from the Volkswagen scandal became integral to shaping a more responsible, transparent, and ethically conscious automotive industry. The ongoing dialogue around corporate practices and regulatory effectiveness remains a crucial aspect of ensuring that the mistakes of the past are not repeated, and that the industry continues to evolve toward a more sustainable and accountable future. Moreover, we might be wondering how this impacts Volkswagen and its consumers. Well, Volkswagen has initiated a recall for approximately 482,000 vehicles in the United States, and suspended the sales of affected models including the Audi A3, Volkswagen Jetta, Beetle, Golf, and Passat diesel variants. While no actions have been declared in other regions, the company is under investigation in the US, facing a potential $18 billion fine and estimating an expenditure of 6.5 billion euros, that is, 4.7 billion pounds, for remedies and compensations. There is the looming possibility of criminal charges and civil lawsuits in the aftermath of this scandal. And how does it impact your health? The exhaust fumes not only lead to inflammation of the airways and worsen breathing for individuals, but also pose more severe health risks. Nitrogen oxide emissions have the potential to react with other compounds, resulting in the development of more serious respiratory conditions and the exacerbation of heart problems. Recent research has highlighted a concerning correlation between long-term exposure to pollution and premature death. Specifically, high levels of nitrogen oxides were linked to an estimated 9,500 premature deaths annually in London alone, emphasizing the critical importance of addressing and mitigating the health hazards associated with such emissions. In conclusion, the Volkswagen diesel emissions scandal was a watershed moment that transcended the automotive industry, raising crucial questions about emission standards, regulatory oversight, and corporate ethics. The fallout extended globally, prompting governments to re-evaluate testing protocols and implement stricter measures to prevent future manipulations. Volkswagen faced substantial legal consequences, with fines and settlements reaching billions of dollars. Top executives underwent significant charges, sparking a broader discourse on corporate responsibility, ethical practices, and the vital role of regulatory bodies in safeguarding public interests. As we delve into the intricate details of such impactful events, your engagement is invaluable. If you found this exploration informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights, and stay tuned.